The 2026 World Cup was supposed to be North America's victory moment, the celebration that would prove the United States, Canada, and Mexico could lead the world together. 48 teams, 104 matches, 16 cities, more than 1 billion viewers, a $15 billion investment across 3 nations, 3 flags, 1 tournament, 1 continental roar. But as the December 5th draw approaches in Washington, the dream is showing cracks. What began as a symbol of unity is now exposing political tension, logistical doubt, and a quiet contest for continental leadership. The United States, the primary host with 11 stadiums and the largest infrastructure, is no longer seen as the undisputed organizer. Canada and Mexico, with fewer venues but steadier execution and fewer political storms, are gaining something the U.S. once owned effortlessly: international confidence. Before we continue, please take 1 second to subscribe to Maple States and turn on notifications. We deliver calm, fact-driven analysis for viewers who want clarity, not noise. Whoever leaves the best comment today, it will be pinned at the top. The shift began with a single sentence. September 2025, a press conference that was supposed to be routine. Donald Trump, with his trademark half-smile and the tone that mixes threat with certainty, looked at reporters and said, "If I see a place that isn't safe, we'll move the match somewhere else." It wasn't an offhand remark. It was the moment the World Cup collided with American politics. Within hours, FIFA leadership in Zurich called emergency meetings. Victor Montagliani, the CONCACAF vice president, answered with a phrase that hit like a hammer: "Football is bigger than any country, government, or slogan." In diplomatic language, that meant not even the host superpower gets to shake the tournament. But the damage spread fast. European networks began asking whether the U.S. could guarantee neutrality. South American analysts questioned whether the World Cup would slowly turn into a political rally. The hashtag World Cup Chaos reached global trending status in less than 2 days. Behind every World Cup is a massive economic machine. Stadiums that cost between $500 million and $2 billion each. Broadcast contracts worth more than $4 billion. Sponsors who pay up to $100 million for visibility. Restaurants, hotels, transportation companies, all calculating record revenue. Cities like Atlanta expect $400 million in direct economic impact. Dallas forecasts $500 million. But when the leader of the host nation publicly questions the safety of his own cities, that financial engine begins to shake. Insurance firms reevaluated risk coverage. Airlines quietly reviewed route commitments. Mega sponsors like Budweiser and Hyundai contacted FIFA privately to assess reputational exposure. A Visa executive speaking off record told Bloomberg, "We don't invest billions for our logo to appear next to headlines about mass shootings." And the concern wasn't just perception, it was math. The United States recorded 657 mass shootings in 2024. By late 2025, the number had already passed 520. Chicago, scheduled to host 12 matches, averages 2.5 homicides per day. FIFA analysts don't ignore numbers like these. Meanwhile, north and south of the U.S. border, a different story is unfolding. Canada is running with surgical precision. Toronto and Vancouver completed their stadium updates 14 months early. FanFest zones already have confirmed permits. Integrated transportation systems are operating in beta. Mexico, despite its own security challenges, fortified Guadalajara, Monterrey, and Mexico City with 40,000 trained security personnel dedicated specifically to FIFA standards. The Azteca, the only stadium in history to host 2 World Cup finals, is finishing a $150 million modernization without a single delay. By the numbers, Mexico has invested $420 million in direct infrastructure, Canada $380 million. The U.S., with $2.1 billion committed, is facing 12% cost overruns in 3 cities and legal disputes in 2 more. The contrast is striking. As The Guardian recently headlined, while the U.S. argues, Canada and Mexico build. Tourism data reinforces the shift. 68% of 2026 travel packages sold so far are centered on Canadian and Mexican venues. Another major problem is visas. Russia 2018 and Qatar 2022 used fan IDs, simple ticket plus passport entry systems. The United States requires full B1/B2 visa interviews, financial statements, and waits of up to 180 days. For an Argentinian worker earning $800 a month, the visa process costs nearly 3 months of income. Result: flight bookings from South America to U.S. host cities are 34% lower than projections. Bookings to Toronto and Vancouver are up 52%. A leaked internal Reuters report reveals FIFA now expects U.S. stadium attendance to drop by 18% if visa rules aren't relaxed by March 2026. And while players and officials will get accelerated clearance, ordinary fans remain stuck in bureaucratic limbo. Trump's growing pressure adds fuel. In a rally in Ohio, he said, "I'll call Gianni and in 5 minutes we'll move the games to safer cities like Dallas or Atlanta." His crowd laughed. Zurich didn't. Montagliani responded on BBC, "Host cities were chosen in 2021 after 200-page technical inspections. Moving one match costs $120 million and breaks 47 side contracts." Yet sources close to FIFA admit backup plans exist. Vancouver could absorb Seattle's matches. Monterrey could take one from Los Angeles if reputational risk spikes. Sponsors like Budweiser and Hyundai already have early exit clauses drafted. Nielsen estimates that every 1% drop in global confidence cuts $45 million in advertising value. This is no longer just about stadiums. It's about a global brand being shaken at its foundation. And then comes the question of legacy. Canada plans to convert BMO Field into a multi-use complex supporting 15,000 permanent jobs. Mexico will transform the Azteca into a cultural and sports hub with an annual economic impact of $180 million. In the United States, several stadiums depend heavily on the NFL, not soccer, to survive. SoFi Stadium cost nearly $5 billion, but without international confidence, these venues risk becoming modern monuments to political instability rather than icons of sport. But the situation is not beyond repair. FIFA could push the 3 governments to sign a neutrality pact, a promise not to interfere with host city assignments or tournament security. The U.S. could temporarily ease visa rules for confirmed ticket holders, a move that would cost $40 million but generate an estimated $800 million in tourism. Civil society campaigns urging safer, non-politicized fan zones already have more than 2.3 million signatures. The countdown continues. 220 days until Mexico versus Canada opens the tournament at the Azteca. The stadiums are ready, contracts signed, teams in training. But the real final is unfolding in government offices, airports, press rooms, and in the perception of millions who must decide whether crossing an ocean is worth the uncertainty. The United States still has a chance to remind the world why it was chosen to lead this project. Canada and Mexico continue strengthening their reputation as reliable partners, and FIFA is fighting to protect its crown jewel from political shockwaves. This World Cup won't just reveal who lifts the trophy, it will show who truly leads the future of North America, and whether the continent still believes in unity or whether politics will divide what sport was meant to join.